It's been about a week now since the latest entry in the Silent Hill franchise dropped, and responses to the release are all over the place. The first game was literally made on a whim to compete with Resident Evil by a highly talented team that was, unfortunately, considered the scraps of the company at the time. The series has been on ice for a while now, the last release being Book of Memories, which is 12 years ago. I'm not counting PT. It was an incomplete demo. Fun game, but incomplete. It goes without saying any release after a long period of time is going to receive a mixed response. So let's get to it. Is Silent Hill: The Short Message a bad game? No. Is it perfect? No. Most importantly, is it Silent Hill? I think. Let me explain. It deals with similar themes that we've seen in the past. A main character who is struggling to come to terms with something that has happened in their lives. Bunch of spooky, otherworldly stuff happens to them that causes them to be introspective. They either come to terms with their trauma or let it consume them. Short Message does a good job at storytelling and setting mood for most of the game. My major contention with the game is the voice acting. Especially when Anita is flashing back to her mom. The voice actor is too anime. At points, it felt like I was being yelled at by Rita Repulsa. I honestly was scared she was going to make her monsters grow.
Magic wand! Make my color grow!
It ruined the game for me whenever it was happening. I enjoyed Anita, Maya, and Amelie's voice performances, but the side voices were so different from the tone that it removed you from the experience. It's clear they are aiming to catch the attention of a younger audience by choosing a younger protagonist and choosing a more youth-oriented issue to tackle. Not to say harassment and bullying doesn't happen to adults, but I felt the added aspect of social media makes it feel like it's shooting for younger fans. I'm not that old, but when I was in high school, Facebook was the shiz, and Instagram was just starting when I was graduating. At least I think. I was never really on social media to be social. I was a nerd and used it to stay updated on Japanese and Korean pop culture. I couldn't care less what my peers were doing. They are not Morning Musume, so fuck them. So when it comes to believability of the bullying aspect, I can't vouch for anything. I didn't have that experience, nor the trauma. When it comes to parental abuse, I feel like he knew some work. With the subject matter being what it is, I think having a positive ending was the right way to go. It would have been hella bad taste to end on a downer and send a negative message about you know what. I like the notices about receiving help if it is needed that were happening throughout the game. It's a heavy problem, and if the game is accidentally triggering to its player, it's also a great way to encourage them to reach out for help. But I do wonder if it took some people out of the experience. Was it too much or enough? I do want to address the Silent Hill phenomenon. This whole thing is just so... no. It was not needed, and it also kind of cheapened the experience of the game. It's been established in the lore of the series that these supernatural events that happen in Silent Hill can occur outside of the town. We didn't need a cheap string to try to attach the story back to the town. This article also implies that it's widely known that Silent Hill has supernatural occurrences, which doesn't make much sense. Isn't it established that it's just an old resort town? I don't think it's necessary for a Silent Hill game to take place in the town at this point. I think it's very logical to assume that other places in the game's world can have the same crazy stuff happening in them. I think what makes a Silent Hill game is its approach to horror, and ability to tell a compelling story at the same time. So I'm going to end this video with a question. What is it that makes a Silent Hill game to you? I really want to know. Comment. I'm interested because I feel like everyone has a different opinion at this point. The Short Message was a overall satisfying experience. It had its faults, but it was still enjoyable. I'm not gonna lie, I got a little teary-eyed near the end. It's also a free game. For a free game, this defies expectations in my opinion. We were kinda spoiled. I think the point of this game was to explore the possibilities of the series going forward, and I think it did that. It makes me interested in what's coming next. Am I hopeful that it's going to be awesome? No, but it's going to be something, right? That's all for today, folks. If you liked what you just watched, subscribe and let's have more conversations. Bye bye.